Now, if you have been following politics, you know that we had a lot of big news about Senator Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham kind of in the same week. So Lindsey Graham passed away. His funeral was today. Today is July 28th. But Mitch McConnell is still in the news, but it's only photos of him in the news. So there has been a second photo of Mitch McConnell that has been released to sort of, I guess, prove that he is still alive, because there's been speculation about whether or not he is still alive. So I want to share this screen and we're going to get into this story. It's coming from WLKY in Kentucky. So it says Senator Mitch McConnell's press team has released a new statement and second photo since his hospitalization. The statement says he's still doing rehabilitation and his doctor says he's not yet clear to return to Congress. So if you remember, news broke that Mitch McConnell had some sort of accident at his home. People were speculating that he was dead and nobody had seen him. Nobody had heard from him. And then all of a sudden we get a photo that kind of turned out. Well, I ain't going to say turned out because I don't think the media ever proved that it was AI. But there were people online kind of analyzing it and doing some different things that you can do with photos to see whether or not they've been altered or if they are AI photos. So that's kind of the controversy going on with him. And we see this becoming an issue. This is becoming a growing thing where we're living in an age where we can't even really believe the things that we see anymore. And I have been advocating and screaming for legislation around AI, even at the federal level, because there's one thing when a person is making a deep fake or they're manipulating images or even statements or whatever, but then it's a whole different thing for the government to do that. How do we hold the government accountable if they're lying and using AI photography? How could we ever trust anything from them again if that is what's happening? So that's what makes this story with Mitch McConnell so important, just aside from the fact that they may be hiding his condition. Aside from that, even the AI component of it is what I feel like is important as well. Both things are important. The statement that was released says that he wouldn't be attending a political event in Kentucky that is very popular that he has attended for years. And the statement reads, "I'm still working hard to get back to my full schedule of work in the Senate and in Kentucky, keeping up with intense physical therapy per my doctor's orders. Unfortunately, that means I won't be able to make it to Fancy Farm, Kentucky this Saturday. There's no place I'd rather be on the first Saturday in August than with the good people of Western Kentucky feasting on pork and mutton. When I first attended 42 years ago, Fancy Farm was a pretty lonely place to be a Republican, but how times have changed. Today, Western Kentucky is a conservative Republican sea of red." Really? That ain't even natural for somebody to say that in a statement. A Republican sea of red. Really? "So I hate that I'll miss the fun this year, but I'm sending my best wishes to the St. Jerome community for a successful picnic. As always, I appreciate all of your continued well wishes, and I'm looking forward to getting back to the Senate and to Kentucky soon." So here's a photo. And it's the thing. When I saw the photo, I'm like, ain't that the last photo that he released? It looks so familiar to the first photo he put out that everybody was saying that he was AI. And here's the thing. He looks younger. He looks about 10 years younger than we last saw him when he was alive. So that's one of the things that's fueling the allegations. But also, who wears a button-down shirt in rehab? Like, they're saying he's in rehab doing all this strenuous work, but y'all got him in a button-down for a photo op? And then his wife is kind of in a similar position. This man's supposed to be 84. We've seen Mitch McConnell. And now I noticed that they cut his hands out of this one, because in the previous photos, his hands were kind of being seen, if I'm not mistaken. Do they include that first photo on here? They don't. But in the first photo, you could kind of see his hands, and people were saying, wait a minute, his hands are purple. Like, we've seen pictures of his hands. His hands look like they're dying. So how are they not purple anymore? So there were just a lot of questions around the photos. So in addition to this second photo that we see here that was put out of him where he obviously looks younger, the doctor also added a statement with the photo and with his statement that doesn't seem like something an 84-year-old man would say or write. And of course, he has writers on his staff and all that. So I get it, but it's just not believable at all. So in that statement, there was a statement from the Office of the Attending Physician, and it says Senator McConnell continues his recovery from a fall at home in June. OAP physicians visit with the senator every day, discussing all aspects of his rehabilitation care. Since his discharge from hospital care, he has maintained a strenuous course of physical therapy and rehabilitation, including multiple sessions a day designed to rebuild strength and reduce the risk of future falls. His bout with childhood polio continues to be a significant factor in his mobility. He is not yet medically cleared to leave the rehab facility and return to the office. McConnell was hospitalized June 14th. The first statement from him says he suffered a fall and a mild case of pneumonia. And so far, McConnell has missed 38 Senate votes since then. So now here we have the physician adding a statement saying that we're with him every day. We visit him every day. Now, I want y'all to remember that, because if it comes back that this man was dead, that means the physicians were lying. So they can't be trusted. Not only that, his team can't be trusted. The people that put his statement out, they can't be trusted. Nobody can be trusted. And this is a big deal. This is a really, really big deal, because we're in this age of digital manipulation, and there has to be some safeguards around this so we know what is what, especially when it's coming from federal government, state government, any government organization. We cannot just let this slide under the rug, y'all. This is something that we have to stay on and continue to follow, because it was swept under the rug with Princess Kate when it was determined by multiple experts, multiple AI experts, that the things that they put out regarding Princess Kate were AI. So what do you do when the government is giving you false information and using AI to cover it up or to make it more believable? That is a problem. So the only communication from McConnell has been through email or written statements from his team. Nobody has seen him on video. There is no audio. And we know how easy it is to pick up a phone, put it in front of your face, and start talking. And I believe that as someone who is currently holding a position in Congress, whether he's able to carry out or not, whether he's able to carry it out or not and perform his duties, he should at the very minimum be required to make some type of video statement to assure his constituents, first and foremost, that he is in fact alive, especially when it comes out that people don't believe the statement and that people don't believe the photo. They should be putting out some sort of video statement to just prove it. What would it hurt? It hurts nothing for you to do that. And these politicians work for us. So we have a right to demand certain things and demand certain information because they hold these positions and ultimately work for us. Governor Andy Beshear sent 2 letters to McConnell's office and Senate Leader John Thune demanding answers about McConnell's condition. Many lawmakers have been demanding more transparency from the senator, including the governor, who said he received calls suggesting that McConnell had died. So the governor is saying, I got 2 calls within an hour that this man was dead. Then also, y'all coming up with these pictures that look like AI. I need somebody to prove to me that he's alive. That's what the governor is saying. Now, earlier this month, now, mind you, this happened in June. So McConnell was allegedly hospitalized on June 14th. On July 7th, 2 active senators and a former aide to, I guess, maybe one of the senators or McConnell, it doesn't say, all claimed on social media within an hour of each other that they had gotten calls from McConnell. So if he's calling y'all, why he can't call the governor? Y'all are lying. Y'all are lying about this man. Y'all are lying about his condition. And that should alarm every single American. Everybody should be alarmed by this. And it's one thing for somebody to hide a sickness, even though that's unethical and that shouldn't happen. That's totally different from hiding a death. So we need to get some answers to this. I hope that that governor does not let up and we get some answers. And I'm just curious, when it comes back that he's probably dead, what happens then? How are we going to hold these people accountable for lying? I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comment section what you think about this story. I would love to hear your take on it. What you think is going on with Mitch McConnell. Do you believe that these photos are real? Let me know and we'll get on to the next story. So this